I've seen you guys do this segment before, and I'm excited to participate in it for the first time. It is the flip side. So for anyone who hasn't seen it, this is how it works. I will set up a question, and if Ryan gives his opinion first, Kevin has to take the flip side. And if Kevin gives his opinion first, Ryan has to give the flip side. So let's get this started. The Phillies are in Miami tonight looking to do something they haven't done since 1976. That's rattle off 13 consecutive wins on the road. So Kevin, I'm going to go to you first. Will the Phillies get it done in Miami tonight and extend their road winning streak?
It's got to end at some point, so I got to be Debbie Downer. I'm going to say no because I saw the Marlins. By the way, I was at Boston as they came in and swept the Red Sox in Fenway Park. I sat up there in awe, and I was like this for 3 days going, wow, Schumacher's nailing this. He's got a phenomenal staff. That everybody they brought in the bullpen was 97, 98, 99. I'm watching all kinds of great things as baseball with Mr. Wendell playing the game the right way, no batting gloves, hustling, respecting 90 feet. I saw Jazz go deep a few times to dead center. He wore 3 different pairs of shoes, 3 different pairs of batting gloves. There was drip everywhere. We call that fire, Ryan. Drip is just all of it matching. My point is this. It will end against the Fighting Fish because I used to play for the Fighting Fish, and that's just the right answer I think I should give.
Yeah, well, on the flip side, those are great points, by the way. I thought you made some really great points as to why it might end. And on the flip side of that, as to why I think it's going to keep going, just like when the Fighting Fish were playing the Phillies in Philadelphia and someone came up a little short on their slide, they're going to come up a little short against the Phillies. That's right. Zach Wheeler on the mound. He's 4-0 his last 7 starts. He's been carving out on the mound, throwing the ball really well. That team is transformed. They are coming. Here they come. It's a great little battle for second place. Chasing, they're nipping at the heels of the Marlins. I think the Phillies are going. Nick Castellanos is on fire. Bryson Stott's doing well. We saw the big homer from the big lefty at first base yesterday. So, listen, things are happening in Philadelphia. We saw this last year. I think they're feeling again. Rob Thompson, former inductee of mine, together 2019, Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame.
Wow, Canadian.
Great man. He's doing great stuff over there. So, I think on the flip side, Kevin, the Phillies continue this down there in Miami.
Ooh, looking to continue this. They also are looking for their 4th straight win overall in addition to their 13th straight on the road. So that'll be exciting to watch. All right, next topic, fellas. The Mets and Padres begin a series in San Diego tonight. Both teams have underperformed so far in the season, but both come into this series on a little bit of a roll, with the Mets on a 5-game win streak while the Padres have a 3-game win streak. So, Kevin, will both of these teams make it to the postseason?
Wow, is this a great question. And Manny Machado, I need some of those yellow batting gloves just because those are fire. I don't know why I am all in on those unis, period, end story. Even though Mets were my high school team's colors at University High School, in case you were wondering. And I went with the Darryl Strawberry Franklin batting gloves. Now, that being said, will both these teams make the postseason? Absolutely not. They should make the postseason, but I don't think both will make the postseason. I think that's too big of a hole to make the postseason with both these clubs, but I believe one team will pull this together. If you were to ask me which team's going to pull it together, I don't know. I don't know which team's going to pull it together, but I know one team's undefeated in July. I know one team is sitting over there in New York, and it has been a long first half. There's another team that sits on the West Coast. It's been the same style of a long first half, but there's not as many media reporters and stories going on, so you could hit the beach. You can grab your surfboard, you can get on your Harley, you can kind of get away. You're not getting away from anybody on the East Coast. So if I was to pick one team, I think the East is definitely the toughest division. I think the Mets and the San Diego Padres are 6.5 out. I don't know if they catch the San Francisco Giants, so I would say Mets make it. Mets make it. It's just my guess.
Oh, you even picked a team. What's going out there? I hope so. That would give my opportunity at my bracket, my preseason bracket, to fill out. But on the flip side, I'm going to say both these teams. And listen, I've been like a little hard on both of them all year just because I look at their talent. Their
what a nice
room.
guy.
I look at what they got, but I think they both have an opportunity to get on a run. I think the Padres are a lot closer just because they're not as far out as the Mets are. But when you need that wild card, Kevin, you know this. When anybody starts playing well, we've seen the Oakland A's win 20 in a row. We've seen teams up in the Northeast be down 3-0 in a playoff series, best of 7, and come all the way back. So I don't count anybody out, and I say that both of these teams make the playoffs. That's my
flip it back real quick. So who doesn't make it, Ryan? You just can't say they're going to make it and who's not going to make it.
No, they're both going to make it.
Look at the standings.
They're both going to make
Who's not going to make it?
The San Francisco Giants aren't going to make it, and the Milwaukee Brewers aren't going to make it.
Sorry, Craig Counsell. And, excuse me, and you need another one not to make it.
I know it was payback from when I hit him with a golf ball in the leg, but that's what happened.
You need another one. Another one's got to not make it, too.
Yeah, I said Milwaukee, the Brewers, Craig Counsell.
Yeah, but they're not in the postseason already, so you got to take the Phillies out. You got to take – what do you got?
I'm going to take the Phillies out. I'm going to take the Marlins out. I'm going to take the Marlins out.
Well, you guys have showered together. I know. You guys have showered together, and I know it doesn't make sense. It's Craig Counsell right now. So I'm calling Kapler because I showered with him, and it's very sad he took those guys out, ex-teammates of ours. All right,
Phillies
call me later.
Marlins.
I don't know why.
The two teams playing down in South Florida.
There we go.
And he played for the Marlins.
All right, fellas, let's turn our attention to the Dominican Summer League for just a moment, where something of historical significance happened on Thursday. The Red Sox no-hit themselves. That's right. The Red Sox have multiple teams in the rookie level league, and Red Sox Blue threw a 7-inning no-hitter against Red Sox Red. So, Demp, as the pitcher of the group, I'll let you go first. Is this inter-squad a no-hitter cool? Is that considered cool?
No. Yeah, I mean, sure. First of all, it's probably not one person who threw it all. It's like 7 different pitchers. It shouldn't count anyways. And then second of all, it's like what you should do is the team that got no hit. They're always trying to figure out who they're going to keep and who they're not. If you got no hit, you just got to go home. And then you just don't get no hit anymore. I don't know. I don't mean that. I think you should have a second chance. I know it's really hard to hit. I get it. But yeah, I'm just going, no, it's not cool. It's a practice. You're good at practice. We're talking about practice, Sierra. We're not even talking about game. We're talking about a practice game.
Perfect.
A practice game, not even practice.
What was your career average?
0.99. 0.9. It's hard to hit, Kevin. It's really hard. 0.99. My OPS was low. There wasn't a lot of contact till later in my career when I finally figured out how to not strike out. I was really good at grounding out to the pitcher.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to tell you, he tried so hard, too. He tried so hard. He'd have, like, this little wiggle. It was like a 33.5, like this brown, like, really light bat. And, I mean, the poor little kid, listen, he's got great quads, great body, great athlete. As you can see, he's a swimmer. But, I mean, when that ball would come in, it'd be like putting a dad in the cages, when you put it up to about 70 or 80 and the dads get in there, I got this, Tommy. That was Ryan. So, I think
hey, Kiana, real quick, true story. True story. I had a hitting coach one time. He's like, when you pick the ball up right here out of the hand, he's got his hand out here, and I'm like, no. I look at his face. I'm trying to game face him. And I go, you look at the hand? And he's like, yeah, that's where the ball's coming from. I go, I try to look over after he lets go, and that's what happened. It was already by me. It's too fast. I was looking in the wrong spot the whole time.
Explains a lot. This explains a lot. All right, wait.
Thank you.
Guys, I've been sitting on this question all day, and I've been so excited to ask you guys this. Let's go back to the desert. Last night, benches cleared after Jose Ruiz hit Francisco Alvarez in the 7th inning. And it wasn't just the benches that emptied. It was the bullpens, too. Kevin, let's go to you first. Are we over the bullpen slowly jogging in any time there's a benches clearing moment?
Yeah, I am, because I'm going to tell you, all the fights I've been in there in these kind of situations, the bullpen guys are the ones that come out doing something kind of stupid, right? You get the cheap shot, you get somebody to grab. I remember, and I love me some Tanya Sturts, but he grabbed Gabe Kapler one time around the neck, and Gabe was in the pile, just kind of whatever, so he comes around the neck. Well, the next thing you know, Trot Nixon goes, and he's trying to rip Sturts' ear off, so that was the real fight. Everybody was looking at the A-Rod and the Veritek fight, because those were the two guys involved at that Bronson Royal fight. So, yeah, the bullpen, we don't need you guys to jump in and do the Tommy Emanski, I'm going to like fight everybody or like this cold swinging. At the end of the day, it's usually involved with the two players, right? The pitcher and the hitter. Now, there's something that went on if somebody's protecting somebody with high spikes or slide at second base. So there could be a few. But usually it has nothing to do with the dudes that just walked out in the 5th inning and started doing their little medicine ball works. You know what I'm saying? Now I like the bullpen guys because now they're involved in the home runs. But usually it has nothing to do with that. I know we're all teams, but yeah, just let the 5 or 6 guys get into it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, on the flip side, I don't think you could be more wrong, Kevin. I really don't. I think that this is important.
Yeah.
I think it's an opportunity for some guys to play that just sometimes I've been down the bullpen, you don't get to play very much. It's a chance to come play, tickle bunnies with the guys. You get out there, there's dancing going on. I mean, think about this. When there's a brawl on the field, or not even a brawl, a skirmish, right? Like some bad things are happening. Where would we be if when everything calms down, there wasn't somebody to run in from the bullpen and stir it up again? Where would we be? So I think it's really important that we have this. I think on the flip side that we need to have the bullpen coming in. A lot of bullpen coaches, some of them are just, like they're old pitching coaches and they move a little slower. So by the time they get there, they already got to be walking back, and we don't even have any kind of motorized vehicle to take them back to the bullpen. And the next thing you know, they're not feeling good, and then they got to sit down. So I think it's really, really important, and I couldn't disagree more with you.
You guys, it sets a precedence. You want to make sure that your teammates have your back. You got to come jogging out, whether it's slow or not. You got to come show support. It's the support factor of the whole thing, right?
You're right. He wins.
Catch nothing.